Welcome back to the studio. I'm Michael. So there's a lot of big catalysts in the market this week if you're an investor, and there are things that we need to be aware of because they're going to cause a lot of volatility, not only for the stock market, but also for crypto. We have stuff going on with central bankers and the Federal Reserve from all across the world meeting at the Jackson Hole Symposium. We have China cutting rates. We have big news coming out of the crypto market. So I want to talk about everything in a short and concise format. If you appreciate that, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. And let's start off with big catalysts for overall global financial markets. First thing is going to be with the Jackson Hole Symposium on August 25th through August 27th. This is a yearly event that takes place where central bankers and Federal Reserve from all over the world meet to discuss what is going on with the economy. And the important thing here is that while the U.S. isn't set to have any new inflation data for a couple of weeks, the key thing is that the Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell, could be giving strong hints as to what their plans are moving forward to combat inflation. Yes, we had our previous meetings and what they said, but having this Jackson Hole Symposium where central bankers from all across the world are meeting, they very well could give hints as to what they are going to be doing moving forward. A more definite idea of what central banks and the Federal Reserve are going to be doing moving forward. So right now, it's expected that we're going to see a 75 basis point increase from the U.S. Federal Reserve. You can see there's a 52% chance that we're going to see a 75 basis point increase, but it's still pretty split as to what is going to happen. And as we know from the past, whatever happens with Federal Reserve increasing rates, that usually has a big impact on the market. And next thing that's happening in the markets, which is going to have big impacts, is that we are seeing that currently, right now, exchange balances for Bitcoin has hit 4-year lows. And this is a big deal because right now what we're seeing is that as the market is continuing to consolidate, it's down significantly from all-time highs, we're continuing to see Bitcoin taken off of exchanges. And this is actually a very bullish sign if you're a crypto investor, seeing that Bitcoin is hitting a 4-year low for Bitcoin balance on exchanges. Ultimately, what that means is that when it does come time and people start experiencing FOMO, a lot of it's going to be off of exchanges. It's not going to be as readily available for people to buy. And the other good thing with Bitcoin not being on exchanges is people who own it have no plans of selling it, because if they wanted to sell it quickly, they would keep it on an exchange where they could easily buy and sell. But if you take it off an exchange, it adds an extra step, an extra layer where you're ultimately saying, look, I got no plan to sell this. Let's keep it off to the side. So that is also good for the overall crypto market. And I want to quickly interrupt today's video to bring you a word from our channel partner, Fairdesk. Fairdesk is a cryptocurrency exchange that offers up to 125x leverage, and you can get up to a $5,040 deposit bonus by simply signing up using my link down below. Currently, Fairdesk is launching a new feature called Arena 2.0. It goes live on August 4th, 2022, and this feature is where you can earn money just by predicting the price of cryptocurrencies. If you predict the price of a crypto closer than someone else, then you could win thousands of dollars, as you can see with all of their giveaway prizes that they are giving out. The cool thing about this is that you can use your own money, or you could use coupons you get from simply spinning the wheel. There are 3 ways you can get free spins. One is by trading. For every $8,000 you trade, the user will get 1 free spin. 2 is by referring people. For every valid invitee, you will get another free spin. And the 3rd is by joining other events that they announce on social media, like on their Twitter or on their Telegram. Fairdesk is the only platform I have been using for trading my crypto when I'm using leverage trading over the last year. And Fairdesk Arena 2.0 is definitely worth trying because you can win money for simply predicting crypto prices and guessing crypto prices better than someone else. Anyways, let me know your thoughts and let's get back to the program. Third thing happening is that we've seen the sentiment for overall crypto actually drop substantially. So right now we've seen that crypto fear and greed index has gone from neutral. It hit a day of neutral down to almost extreme fear yet again. It was over 45 on the crypto fear and greed index, but now it is back down to 29. And if we look at the crypto fear and greed index, This isn't a great sign, seeing that we saw almost neutral, now almost back to extreme fear. And that's because we saw that about 10% correction take place in the market over the last few days. So ultimately, if you're looking at crypto right now, there's a lot of mixed signals as to what is going on. There's a lot of good catalysts, some bad catalysts, but ultimately big thing is going to be keeping an eye out on that Jackson Hole symposium with central bankers all across the world when they're going to be meeting together on August 25th through August 27th. The next thing I want to talk about, though, is going to be what is going on with Satoshi Island, because this is a project we had talked about as of recently, and they had a big announcement come out within the last 24 hours, and that is that Satoshi Island is officially listed on OKX, one of the biggest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world. And this is a big deal because we've seen that Satoshi Island's price has increased dramatically, up over 622%. We've talked about this multiple times on the channel, so I'll make sure to link the video to the full project, me going over my thoughts on it in the links down below. But this is exciting to see that some of the smaller projects we've been talking about are making major moves in the crypto space, getting listed on some huge exchanges. Moving on, let's talk a little bit about regulations and countries all across the world. We have three big things going on with three different countries. First of which is going to be with South Korea. South Korea recently had blocked 16 plus crypto exchanges from ultimately operating in the country because there were 16 cryptocurrency exchanges that were allegedly operating in the country without registration. So these included KuCoin, Polynex, and many others. But now we're seeing that South Korea has come out and said that they're actually planning to start being more crypto friendly, which they had said for a while, because 7 South Korean brokerages are starting and planning to launch their own cryptocurrency exchanges in the first half of 2023. So this is a great sign because South Korea, while the government is saying, look, cryptocurrency exchanges who are already there, they need to make sure they have the right paperwork, the right regulations, the right documents in place before operating. They need to make sure they have those. But they're not holding back on anything related to the crypto space. If a brokerage wants to start a crypto exchange, go for it. If anyone wants to own crypto, go for it. They're just saying, look, we need to make sure that there are the right regulations in place, that all the exchanges that are operating are doing it according to the laws already there. So this is exciting to see that 7 traditional large brokerages in South Korea have applied for approval to have their own cryptocurrency exchanges. Other things with regulations is in Australia. Right now in Australia, we have seen that they just unveiled their new plans for crypto regulations across the country. And this is a very big deal because they said they're doing this in a way that is unlike anywhere else in the world. They said that they want to attack the crypto space, look at it in terms of regulations in a very methodical way that no other country has done up until this point. Because they said that what they are going to be doing, one of the keys to their approach is going to be a form of market research they call token mapping. And token mapping will essentially allow officials to view and evaluate nuanced trends in the Australian crypto markets to best identify how crypto assets and related services should be registered. And ultimately what they're saying is, look, it is extremely important to understand the entire crypto market, have a comprehensive understanding of the market before drafting regulations. And this is the exact opposite of like countries like the US and all around the world have been doing, because many countries are jumping into regulations before fully understanding what is going on in the market. So this is exciting to see that Australia is saying, before we want to draft regulations, we want to make sure we completely understand what is going on, which aspects of the market need regulation, need attention first, which aspects of the market maybe don't. And this is ultimately going to lead to more growth, more innovation in the space, because the government is not just going to rush into it and start saying this is wrong and this is wrong. They're going to say, look, we want to make sure we're using regulations in the correct way to help grow, but help make sure it is a secure space. Last thing I want to go over is with what is going on in China, because China just recently slashed their 5-year mortgage rate from 4.45% to 4.3% as the Chinese economy is on the verge of collapsing. And the important thing here is that right now, China is facing massive issues in terms of its overall economy. And we have seen that there have been 11 straight months of slowdown in the country. So moving forward, we're going to have to see what happens here, but the People's Bank of China cutting key rates this week and last week could have big impacts on global financial markets, because if China slows down, Well, the whole world ultimately slows down because China, in terms of production, is connected to almost every single country in the world. It has some sort of connection with China in terms of overall production. So we'll keep an eye on what happens with China, if they're going to be continuing to cut rates, what happens with the economy, what happens with the housing situation in China. But ultimately, that is what's going on in global financial markets, with the crypto market, with the stock market, and that's what's going on right now. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode. See ya.